I am live. Hey, welcome. I'm going to go post the link to this broadcast on our website. Our website is jollyrogerukulele.com, and all of the resources we talk about today will be on that page. It is 12:59, so if you are catching the recording of this, you can fast forward 6 minutes. We'll get everybody loaded in here, and then we'll get started. So if you're watching the recording, you can just fast forward. If you don't fast forward, all sorts of fascinating things will happen. We'll have a lovely chat about the world of ukulele, and we'll talk about things that are changing and coming up and are going to be awesome. And somebody will eventually log in and say, "You sound good." And that's our big issue on a day-to-day basis, is whether the sound works properly or not. I don't know why I haven't been struggling with YouTube. Most days it works perfectly fine, and then one day, for no reason whatsoever, it doesn't work at all. So I try to always start the computer from dead on, totally asleep, and then it works. So Kay came in. She says I sound good. Sandy says I sound hoarse. I look like a horse. Let's see. You do sound. Linda is here. She says I sound good. She knows I sound like a horse on a normal basis. Boy, we have some good songs this week, don't we? Holy Moses. Lanny's in from Hawaii. Michael, or Burke is here. It always says Michael. Burke uses Michael's account. And let's see. What else is going on? Kay is here. Sandy's here. Linda, Micah. Let's see. Renee made it in. Renee, I think, skipped yesterday. That's what I think. But she made it in today because we have, I think somewhere in here I saw Renee's chord. So we'll be able to get that taken care of. Let's see. Okay, I don't have anything exploding on my phone for a few minutes, so we'll play ukulele and then we will move on to our day. It's getting to be, people have been spending enough time indoors where they're just starting to find things to pick on because they're not happy. And so I've told you guys before, I am the president of the condominium association. And so when they're bored and they are above their 50, they write stuff onto emails and press send. What they should do is write stuff onto email and then hit delete. But us older folks don't quite understand that process of sometimes saying less is more. And I'm the poster child of that, right? Shut up, Gary. I got a top button here. I don't want to look like Vinnie Barbarino. Let's see. Who else has wandered in here? Lynn made it in today. Gary and Diane are in. Noob is up here. Noob, eventually I'm going to have to learn your real name. Noob sounds funny to name it because you're not a noob anymore, by the way, dude. Laurel is here. Evelyn is in 73 and sunny. 73 and sunny. That's wasn't there a phrase 73 and sunny? Oh, sunny in Philadelphia, I think is maybe what I'm thinking of. What's that phrase? Something about sunny in Philadelphia. Let's see. Lynn, I was reading ahead. Trumieri by Robert Schumann. It sounds really nice, isn't it? It's a really beautiful song. It's not necessarily great for ukulele because there's a lot of really long notes in it, but we're going to turn it into something really nice. So years and years and years ago, I played that with Debbie, who's my buddy here in Denver, and I'd say it was iffy. It was a mixed result, but I wasn't a very good arranger back then either. And so I think we're going to be able to pull it off. And it's just really one of those songs where the people who know Trumieri are like, yes, I want to play that song. It is that kind of it's just one of those where, man, everybody loves it who's ever heard it. So Red says hi. And what about her email? What about Red's email? I was working on some people's email today, and I'm trying to remember, Christine, what you sent me. I don't know. I don't know about your email. I will try reading it. I will look through my emails and make sure I didn't miss it. I don't have a recollection of what it was. It's been kind of a crazy morning. I've been doing so much to get ready for the fall that just a big blast of digits are in my head. So I'm not purposely ignoring you, Red. Let's see. Jack is in. Jack and Barbara in. Aloha to you. They're in one of the suburbs of Hawaii out there in the middle of the country. And Fran, I'm here today with a messed up left hand, too much squeezing the bar chords, right? So when that happens, guys, when your left hand says, I have had enough squeezing bar chords, then you listen to it. Okay. And you take a day off or you take a couple of days off. Last week, I ruined my pinky. I ruined it. I took 3 days off. Yesterday when I was playing it, still a little tenor. Guess what? I'm not playing on it. I'm not using it other than to teach with for a while. So I'm going to let this thing, that whatever is going on here, sort of let it calm down. So if your hands get messed up, you listen to them and you say, all right, hands, I won't push it. The health of your hands is really, it turns out it's going to be kind of important to you as a ukulele player. So please, 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 when your hand, especially if you start getting some burning sensation down here or on the back of your hands, that's a great time to listen to your hands and say, oh, my tendons are flaring up just a little bit. I'm going to take some time off. Now, there are some people say you could take, I think it's Advil that reduces the inflammation theoretically. I don't know if that's a good or bad advice. Not a huge pill guy, so I tend not to do that, but might not be, something for you to think about. But the real thing you should be thinking about is when your hands are hurting, that's your body saying, hey, you need a day or two off, and it's perfectly fine. You're going to end up being fabulous, magnificent ukulele players as long as you hang around with me for a while, and you can take a day or two off along the way. It is recommended. Hey, Bob, welcome in. Hey, Patty. Lindy's in. Federico. Or Fede. Okay, Fed. Can I call you Federico? We had a politician here in town named Federico Pena, and he built the airport. He's the guy who made the airport happen. And it was fraught with all sorts of backstreet politics. It was a very funny time here in Colorado, but we got this really fancy airport now. So Federico Pena, he's a lawyer here in town now. From mayor to lawyer, that seems like a step down, doesn't it? Diane is here, Clay is here, Vic is here, Federico, should we say Federico? Good to have you, bud. Let's see, Jan is in from Texas. Jacqueline, hell, I'm here today, but we'll be traveling on the road for the next 2 days, so probably won't have to. Yeah, I know. Some people are able to tune in on their phones, but it's usually so hit or miss in terms of whether you can get service or not when you're traveling. That we'll catch you when you get back, Jacqueline. We will just not do anything important until you come back. Hey, Linda, welcome in. Jennifer's here again. Elizabeth is here. Oh, very good. Glad you're here, Elizabeth. All right, let's get going. Loaned out your concert Ohana to a new player. Yes. Way to go, Diane. Tell them to come hang out with us. So we'll talk about the website stuff. I sent out an email today. I want to talk to you guys about all the stuff that's on there, but I always like to do the intro stuff first. And we're no longer on intro stuff, guys, right? Those of you who are newer, who joined, either, since the beginning of July, I think it was when we switched, about July 6th or something until now. If you've joined in that period, we do have this beginner stuff. And usually the problem is what happens is we get new people who join toward the end of the series and we're working on stuff like this. And I'm saying, yeah, this is the beginner stuff. This is not the beginner stuff by any stretch of the imagination. All this stuff is extremely challenging. And so hopefully it makes sense to you. Now, getting your body to physically do it is a whole nother thing. And so let's, just be aware. A failure is a very clear option in music, and it's something I want you guys to get and stay comfortable with, because it's going to happen a lot. And if you are newer, if you are able to play Scarborough Fair in any meaningful way, that's a really positive sign for the future of you and ukulele. If you're struggling with it, you should be, right? And so starting August 24th, we start the whole series all over again, and you guys can kind of pick your poison, those of you who are around. So, but we'll talk about that at halfway through, so make sure everybody has a chance to get logged in. Christine, in from Bozeman, good to see you. Let's play Scarborough Fair, okay? I love Scarborough Fair for a whole mess of reasons, but the reason I love it the most is that this song is super old, 1670, and exactly the way it was until Simon and Garfunkel took it and they added a beat in measure 13, and now there is no possible way to play it without that beat in there, and so they fixed the song. Back in the 17th century, 18th century, 19th century, they would never have considered adding one beat into one measure, but we have to now, and so we'll see that when we get there. The other reason I like it's in minor key. We don't do most of the stuff we do on ukuleles in major keys because it's happy and it's fun, and this is a happy and fun instrument. But this instrument I have learned over writing a couple of different musicals with it. This thing is a minor key machine. It's absolutely, things are arranged on it so well to play in minor keys that we should do it more, honestly. And so Scarborough Fair gives you a chance to explore what G minor is going to look like. Now notice over on the chords and lyrics line up at the top. It says quarter note equals 100, and that means we play it a little bit slower than normal, whatever that means. You have your treble clef. By the way, we haven't ever done this in this class. Can you draw a treble clef without looking at it? That's how you know if you deserve the tea towel and the coffee mug and you get to be officially a musician. You have to be able to draw a treble clef without looking at it, right? Down, okay? It took a little while for me to be able to figure out how to do it. And so tonight, maybe we should have that as our Global Institute activity. Can you play a treble clef? Can you draw a treble clef? Hey, Kat, welcome in. Minette, and yeah, Minette, by the way, Minette, those of you who don't know, Minette lives up in Glenwood Canyon, near Glenwood Springs, which is a famous kind of tourist place here in Colorado. And there's a huge fire going on up there right now, and they've closed the highway through that canyon. And the only way, if you're going through our mountains, you have to go through that canyon. You have to. There are no other choices unless you go way north. It's about 3.5 hours of the way, or way south, which is about 3.5 hours out of the way. So it is the link to saving 3.5 hours. And right now that canyon has a fire going in it, and they're not letting anybody through. And so I'm sure Manette is up there with her, thankfully, going, well, thank God masks are in style. It's terrible up there. Manette, I'm glad you're here. I'm hoping you're safe. Yeah, it's the biggest priority fire in the U.S. It completely shuts down Colorado when there's a problem in that canyon. It's the craziest thing. Okay, sorry. Brief aside, Minette, totally glad you're here. Hope you're safe. Let's talk about the minor chords. Okay, G minor. The reason I was mentioning the treble clef was next to the treble clef, you see there's two flats. That's exciting. You guys are playing in two flats, which is very exciting. That's not two. Ukulele players don't play in two flats. We just don't need to. But in this case, you are. Two flats are either E flat, which is the key signature that it shares with G minor. Okay, and so you'll often find those two notes hanging out together. Aren't they beautiful? All right, so G minor. It'll turn to an F. Just notice that you just take those two fingers straight up. You're hanging onto your G minor, 2 fingers straight up, and then lose your ring finger. Okay, and then back to G minor. Now you're going to do a B flat, okay, and you will do this in the tough uke. Again, I coach you guys to try to use a full bar, but a half bar is acceptable. Okay. Okay, I got a clunk out of mine. You'll get a clunk out of yours. Know that you are fine doing that. It'll go away. Okay, measure 6, go back to your G minor. Measure 7, we're going to the C. We go then back to G minor for a while, then to B flat for a couple measures. Then we go to F. We're going to do 4 beats in measure 13. Just trust me, it works. Simon and Garfunkel, Simon figured it out, right? There, 2, 3, 4, she. So we're going to add 1 beat into measure 13. Measure 14, go back to the G minor. Measure 15 in F. Back to 17 in G minor. Okay, so not a ton of chords, not a ton of busyness going on. Your challenge, of course, getting your B flat on clean. That's the only thing that's a little bit of a challenge for you. Okay, it's in 3 and it's designed to be played slowly. So let's give it I'm going to give it the best shot at singing I can. Okay, it goes way, way, way up, way out of my range, but what the heck? All right, as if I have a range. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Are you going to Scarborough Scarborough Fair. 2, 3. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. 3, 1, 2. Remember me to one who lives there. 3, 4. She once was a true love of mine. 2, 3. Back to the top. 1, 2, 3. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there. She once was a true love of mine. 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, really nice tune. Very it's always played at the Renaissance Fair, right? This is way after the Renaissance. Those of you music historians, so don't think I'm confused by that. But people think of it as a medieval or Renaissance type song. It's not that at all. Significantly after Shakespeare was in the grave, right? And so this is a much newer song than that, but it feels very medieval and it feels a little bit Renaissance-y, you know, and so you hear it at the Renaissance Fair a lot. What I noticed the first time through, I was, I started plucking, didn't like that sound, went to a strum, thought that was sounding pretty good. Second time through, I started doing a pluck, and chord, pluck, pluck, chord, index, middle, and that sounded actually really nice, right? And so I was sort of experimenting with the strumming ideas and with the things that you guys are experts on at this point. And so you should also do that when you get a song like this that's a one-pager where the chords are not going to beat you up too bad. Go through and try different methods and different sorts of programs for what makes sense for your hands to do. And I would say, generally speaking, on the older, the more singing you do, the more arpeggiating you want to do. And I think that's probably also true with the more tough uke you play, then the more you're going to want to start adding in extra pretty notes just to add them in for no other reason. And that's where just hanging onto that chord and really taking advantage of as many musical possibilities as you can while you're holding your chord will make you sound like a very fine musician. And obviously that's the goal always. It's just, hey, I want people to think I'm something, right? That's not really the goal, but that's definitely in the back of your head. That may be one of your goals. All right, let's play the melody. Let's see what somebody mentioned something. Marshall, well, I'm lost. What music are? Marshall, come on. You got to read your emails, dude. I send them out to you all the time. Go to jollyrogerukulele.com. Everything is there. Okay. All right. Marshall and I have been hanging out for a long time. Marshall does not read her emails. That's one thing I know. Glad you're here, Marshall. All right. Melody only, please, from the ukulele melody line. 1, 2, 3. 3, 3, 5, 5, 5, 0, 1, 0, 3, 2, 3, rest. 5, 8, 10. 8, 5, 7, 3, 5, 2, 3, 1, 2. 10, 10, 10, 8, 5, 5, 3, 1, 0, 1, 3, 4, 3, 5, 3, 1, 0, 3, 1, 3. Back to the top and go. 3, 4. Second ending. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So what exactly is an arpeggio? That's what Q is asking, right? So let me get back to that in just 1 second, Q. Let me finish the discussion about the melody. One of the things I was noticing as I was playing the melody is I am playing here and I am playing here. And really that covers everything. So if you're in first position, you can get up to grab your 5s. You play all those first 4 measures in first position. Then measure 5. If you slide up to 5th position, you get almost all of the notes. You got to reach down for a 3, but you play that all the way through measure 12, right? Then you go back down here and you play the end of the song. So it's one of those opportunities. We'll be talking about that a lot this fall on Monday nights when we go into orchestra mode, which is how can I play fast? How can my fingers be in the right position at the right time? And it depends on the song a lot, but this business of playing first position and 5th position become really, really a valuable method of playing faster and playing with a little more confidence and a little less need to pull your eyes off the paper and double check that your fingers are where they're supposed to be. That's the thing that kills you, right? Is you're like, oh God, here comes those notes way up the fretboard. I'm going to blow them. And you blow them, right? And I didn't play it perfectly by any means, but I have a system that I know if I'm going to be playing this in orchestra, I've got that system in place. Hey, most of the song's in first position. The middle parts of the song is in 5th position. I'll go back to the first position. So be thinking about that. To Q's question, hey, what really is an arpeggio? So if I'm holding a G chord, okay, a G chord is made up of a G and a G minor in this case. Okay, first chord on the thing, G minor. Okay, I'm holding that as my chord. My notes in this are, this is a G string, so I'm playing a G note. This is my C string, but I'm holding it down here, so now it's a D. Okay, this is an E string, but I'm holding it right here, so now it's a G. And then this is my A string, but I'm holding it here, so it's a B flat. Okay, so to make a G minor chord, I'm playing G, D, G, B flat. Okay, so another Pauline, you got to quit your job, man. It's messing up your ukulele time. All right, so those are your notes: G, D, G, B flat. Now you may notice this G and this G are exactly the same note. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily. That's what makes ukulele fun, is you're going to be doubling up on notes a lot of times, and it actually creates some very fascinating accidental harmonies. And so, when some close harmony is going on, these two, the outer and inner, the top and bottom strings, a lot of times may be doing exactly the same thing, and sometimes not. And that's what makes ukulele really unique in the way it's played. But those are your 4 notes. When you strum them together, they make a G minor chord. Okay, so I'm basically on the piano. I'm taking those 3 sounds and going plong. That's how you make a chord. Plong. But on the piano, if I want to not make that, but I want to make that chord, but I don't want to go plong, my choice is to do an arpeggio. And typically, you can either go up, thumb, middle, pinky, brung, or you can come down, blong, blong, blong. That's an arpeggio pattern. And if you do it fast enough, we call it a glissando. But if you do it bum, 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 then it's more of an arpeggio. And that's what our arpeggio, that sound there, it is a broken chord, is what we usually tell people. So if I take these 3 strings, so I got a D, I got a G, and I got a B flat, that's a minor chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now I'm arpeggiating that chord instead of going bum, 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 bum. Okay, so those are those. And that's how we play it. Okay, so block chord versus arpeggio chord, and a glissando is right a little faster. Okay, we're making sure we get them all like that. Okay, all right. So that is the melody and the chords. Let's play the tough uke. Okay, in this case, I'm going to tell you just play a regular G chord because you're going to have to play this pinky right here, right? And you're not going to hit this string, which is where the B minor comes from. So I would start just by grabbing a regular G chord, okay? So I play the 0, 2, 3. Then I'm going to hit the 3 again. And then I'm going to hit the 5 up here. Hit the 5 by itself. Now I'm going to go to an F chord. Roll down to hit the 1. And then drop off the 1. Go back to your G chord. 2 and 3 are just for decoration. Grab your B flat. Okay, now 5, 8. So I'm going to do index, pinky, and then go grab your 3 10s in a row. That's the hard motion right there. Okay, and you want to get them as clean and as pretty as you can. Okay, let them ring for just a second. Go hit the 8, and then hit the 5. Pinky on 7, index on 3, and then go grab a regular G chord again, pinky on 5. Ignore the fact that that 5 is drawn over. I have decided I'm not going to do that to you guys anymore. I'm being smarter than I need to be when I do that. That 5 is carried over in the melody, and so you should know that as a singer, merry in time, right? You're going to really pull that through. But as a chord melody ukulele player, you're going to hit. It's not really going to matter that 5 is being held down because you just aren't going to hear it. But that's theoretic. That's why I used to do that, as I was trying to be really, really smart, and I just outsmarted myself and made music harder to play. Okay, and we don't want that. Okay, now measure 9.5. You go back up to your 10s, and then a nice 3 strummed on the 10. Hit the 10 again. And then you got this mess, right? 8, 6, 7, 7, 7, 5, 6, 8, right? Guys, you know your B flat. Put your B flat on. Okay. 7, 5, 6, and then pinky's over here on an 8. Okay, so it's your bar on 5, F shape in front, pinky here. Okay. And as you know, you have done this down here on F with your pinky a billion times, right? Over the last few months. This is something that you do all the time. We're doing that exact same thing here on F. You just have run out of fingers real quick. And so you got a pinky on 8, middle finger on 7. I'm sorry, ring finger on 7, middle finger on 6, bar on 5. Okay. Lose your pinky and then strum the whole thing again. Then you got 3, 1. I've changed mine to 8, 6 on the second string. So all I have to do is add my pinky on an 8. But it might be easier to play 3, 1. Either one is fine. Okay. Then you put an F chord on. Remember to add 2 beats after that. Okay. We're just trust me, it sounds cool. Okay. Then a G chord here. Hit a pinky on 5. F chord with your pinky. And that's a great opportunity when you're in this G shape with your pinky on the 5. Slide it down. Wah. Hit the 1, F chord, 3, 1, and then a G chord. And now a real G minor. And then we play the whole song again. Remember, the second time you come through, skip 17 and 18. So grab your highlighter and put a little line right down, up and down on the beginning of measure 17 so that you use your head when you think, am I in the first repeat or the second repeat? Let's play it top to bottom, twice through. 1, 2, 3. Okay. It's really pretty at the end. So there you have Scarborough Fair. Um, Not beginner level, right? It's a stretch piece that I put into book 1 and 2. Every now and then I get a student who really is just killing it, right? And they're like, hey, I need something a little more challenging. So I put this in book 1 so that they have a stretch piece, okay? So you should know if you're playing that at any level of competency, you're fine. You're doing great. If it's really, really challenging, hey, when we start level 1 again, let's go have you take it a second time. I have had any number of students go through level 1, 2, or 3 times. And by the third time, they're annoying because they know everything and they can teach the class, right? But the first time you go through this, you're learning it for the first time. Second time, it's sort of review. Third time, you got it, right? And so again, as we approach the fall and we decide, you're sort of trying to find your level of comfort, maybe taking the easier stuff is the way to go. Maybe it's like, hey, I got this stuff. Well, give me something a little more challenging. Maybe a little bit of both, right? And I'm the guy who's always saying, you got to go back to the basics over and over and over, because that is the foundation that we build our house on. And when we build our first house, it's made out of cardboard. And so we got to tear that thing down, go put in a stronger foundation, build it out of sticks, and we end up doing that a few times in our musical career, just to make sure our foundation is solid. And that's why I talk music theory a lot, right? I push that stuff on you guys more than I probably should, because that's, once you understand that fundamental foundation, not only is ukulele open up to you, but every instrument becomes yours. And so there's no instrument that somebody can hand me and I won't have a general sense of how to make music come out of it, because I understand how music theory works. And that's why we talk a lot of times with you guys about sort of the details of behind stuff. Whereas typically with ukulele players, we don't waste that time, right? We're just looking for our next Bob Dylan tune with the least number of chords in it so that we can play that. And that's why we get stuck as ukulele players. And it's why I've been watching the same exact type of thing go on YouTube for 15, 20 years now, where it's just like, are you guys kidding me? You're not getting anywhere. You got to understand music. And then we can take this and really, really take it someplace special. And that's what this is. All right. Speaking of special, Michelle, you'll have to email me that you're not getting emails. I don't believe that, okay? Because I know you're on the list. All right, you might not be getting them. I know I'm sending them to you. Let me talk very briefly. I sent out an email today. Hopefully you got it. Double check. If you are on this broadcast, probably you got it. If you have never put your name into the email list, it's crazy. You should absolutely have. I should have your email list. All kinds of good stuff go on there. But I did send out sort of the complete plan for the fall. We're doing Simon and Garfunkel this week. Next week, we're going to do Schumann, Waldhofer. Some of you guys know Skater's Waltz. It's beautiful. Brahms, Schumann, and Strauss are next week. So the Dead White Guys, they're all brilliant composers, really, really fun stuff. And so and then we're going to wrap up. I've got a few tunes out of book 2 that I've got updated, and I want to finish cleaning that stuff up as well. So I'll be throwing some of that at you. Then the week after that, things kind of explode a little bit. We will finish the last Global Institute on Monday night. That's where we have, I think there's 12 songs on that song list. We're going to try to play them all. So we'll just do a lot of playing on Monday night, and then be keeping that Monday night slot time available for you to come and join the orchestra next fall. What we'll be doing is you'll be playing chords and then you'll be playing melody. But the difference between what we do here and what we do there is that we're going to do everything at speed. So you're going to be having this opportunity to see, hey, is my melody playing speed? up where it needs to be. I think that's one of the bigger challenges when people come into our orchestra here in Denver, is that the speed, they come through my intro class, they maybe have taken the next level class, everything's going pretty well, and then they come to orchestra and it just feels like everything rushes away on them. And it's because when we're in class, we play most things fairly slow. And when you play in orchestra, you need to play things relatively fast. We simplify what you're playing, but you play it very quickly. And so that's the skill set that I do want you guys to get. You will notice when somebody sends you they know you're the ukulele guy, right? When they'll send you ukulele videos, and it will always be some little kid playing ukulele at 99 miles an hour. And it always is one of those things where you're like, ugh, I'm so sick of seeing that. But there's this notion that if you can play fast, that you're playing good. And that's nothing could be further from the truth. But being able to play fast is a skill that requires practice. And so we'll do some of that in orchestra this fall. So on Monday nights, we're going to continue to have, cool songs, nice songs, but you'll be playing both the chord side and the melody side. And then we're going to have baritone players as well. And so the other nice thing, if you can, talk somebody in your family to take it up ukulele with you, right? So the two of you, one of you is playing chords and one of you is playing melody, and you're going to just be playing one duet after another, sitting right there in your house in that time slot. And so we'll be doing that. The other thing that's coming up, we'll be moving this class that we do here every day at 1, we're going to break it into 2, right? So the noon hour, which is 1 hour before this time slot, we'll do the little bit easier stuff. This time slot, we will continue to be pushing the limits. And so that first week, we're going to do Italian music. And I've got 5 Italian songs. I haven't figured out which 4 I'm going to do, but we'll be doing that. And also this fall, songs will last for 2 weeks. So once you get introduced to it in this week, we're going to carry it through for 2 weeks. One of the things that drives me crazy about myself as a teacher is I am just constantly throwing stuff at you, and you don't have enough time to really dig in and get good at anything. And so you will have songs for 2 weeks on a rolling basis now. That way it'll come up in concert twice, right? So each week you will get 4 new songs, but you'll also carry over 4 from the previous week, so that you'll have 2 weeks to work on a tune. And I think that will make you a better player, a more competent musician. I'm also going to add in a baritone class after this class. And I'm also going to add in a harmonica class, which is basic harmonica. It's not blues harmonica. Don't think you're going to be going down to the blues bar and getting free drinks. It's going to be, I've been working on the railroad, You Are My Sunshine, When the Saints Go Marching In, all that stuff on diatonic harmonica, which is the little one. And then we're also going to be playing 1 song each week off of a chromatic harmonica, which is the big one with the button on it. So we'll be doing that this fall. And then, of course, the guitar classes will continue to go on. So I do want you to know I got a lot of things going. Here's what I want you. I want you to find your thing, and I want you to stick with it. I want you to play it. I want you to really, really find whatever way makes sense to you as a musician, and I want you to be willing to make a ton of ridiculous mistakes and become just so comfy with mistakes that you end up accidentally being a great musician. So that's one of my goals for everybody. My other goal, as I've told you over and over again, I want to get you where you are comfortable enough with music that you just write your own music and you no longer depend on anybody else to take care of that. And that's a process. We don't just sit down and start doing that. You got to learn different parts and pieces and things before you can actually start creating that. And so hopefully I will be able to give you in various different ways the tools you're going to need to become a composer. And then the other thing that I ask of you is don't be shy about letting people know that's going on. Right now, some are going back to school, some are not. What I know is that usually when this type of situation happens, the first thing that goes is the arts. I mean, there's not even any consideration at a board meeting. If your choice is science, technology, engineering, and math, or the theater club, you know which thing's going to get axed first, and it's disgusting and it's wrong, but that's the way our society works. And so there's going to be a lot of kids that are either taking classes at home or doing online stuff, and their parents do not have the ability to teach them any type of music, and I do. And so please, if you know people that are ending up in homeschool situations, or on purpose wanting to be in homeschool, which is probably the better choice, but who knows? I don't know. Everybody's different. Every neighborhood's different. All this stuff is crazy. But just let them know that this is going on, and and say, hey, I don't know if this guy is interesting to you or if it works into your schedule or not, but at least you got something. And I do think also in those schools that are looking, part of the reason I divided it up into these specific little groups is, if you're a school teacher and you're like, shoot, I'm stuck with these kids for this hour, shoot, go play, put a ukulele in their hand or a harmonica in their hands, and we play this. I don't know about harmonicas, right? You're blowing their spit all over the room, but just be thinking about that in terms of people that could maybe use a free music class. And we charge for membership here for the good stuff, but there's plenty of stuff that's public domain that I don't mind giving away at all. And so just know it's out there. Okay. Let's see what else we got going on over here. Let's see. Paul, Marshall, let's see. Jennifer Brick, okay. Yay, yay, harmonica, right? Plan sounds fabulous. Hopefully you'll find a way that fits in. For those of you guys that are just trying to become better ukulele players, we got you covered, okay? This time slot, continuing into the fall, we're gonna keep pushing you forward, and the rest of you, hopefully you can find this as a resource in one way or another. Okay, we have I reposted Bridge Over Troubled Water. So make sure you have the more recent version of that. If you downloaded it yesterday, I changed a couple of chords. Clay sent me an email and he's like, I don't think these are right. And of course he was right and I was wrong. So we've got those adjusted and fixed. And so I'd like to just really quickly play through Bridge Over Troubled Waters. So if you will grab that for me. If you're using yesterday's version, you'll probably be fine. If you didn't print out today's version, that's okay. Yeah, you'll be fine using yesterday's version. But I do want you by Friday to print out the new version. I just needed to change a couple of chords that obviously I don't know what I was thinking in 47, 49, and 52. So I fixed those chords a little bit so that they make a little more sense. And frankly, one of them was dead on wrong. So let's see, Kat. As a dean of STEM at a small college, I maybe shouldn't agree with you, Gary. Couldn't agree more. Arts are so important. I'm not saying STEM's not important. You know that, Kat. STEM's where we're going, and I get it. I absolutely understand. But the best scientists, the best architecture students, the best engineers, the best, all of those guys, every last one of them, really good at art too. All right. Bridge Over Troubled Water. Let's just play the Tough Uke. And if you've not already played Tough Uke, play the melody or play the chords. This song works on all three levels. I've spent a little bit of time playing through it, and I really like it. Okay. Now I'm exploding here. All right. From the top, we'll play it all the way down to measure 24. Then we come back and we play it again. And then we go to the end. Okay? Okay. All right. From the top, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Oops, you gotta change the page. There we go, sorry. top. Second ending. Measure 26. Measure 29. Measure 45. This is the big stretch. Bar on 5. Slow it down. That is a nice song. I don't think it's terribly hard to play, but there is stuff that shows up and you're like, right? It's a really, really nice song, and I think the arrangement totally works. And I think the few chords I changed on there were there was one chord that was dead on wrong, but the rest of them was just changing the form that you were playing them on the ukulele. So you guys are getting pretty comfy with that, I think, generally speaking. So if you did not download today's version of Bridge Over Troubled Water, please do that by Friday so that we will all be playing from the same sheet of paper. It should say August 12th on the top. And if you're playing melody, none of that changed. And if you are playing chords, I did have to eject a couple of them and change them out. But other than that, everything's the same. And I think it plays nice. I just think it's got a really good sense on this instrument. So let's see. Jennifer was able to keep the band and orchestra. Yeah, you know, guys, we need it all. We need it all. So that's the hard part. Yeah, maybe we can get rid of the recorders. All right. All right. Last piece. What are we working? What's the last thing we're doing today? Shoot, my brain is freaking out. I've talked too much again. Feeling Groovy. Yeah, sorry. Feeling Groovy. Let's play Feeling Groovy. Where's that at? And we played this earlier this year, and I pulled it up today, and I was like, boy, that's a fun song too. This song, again, has plenty of stuff to keep you busy, right? As you know, as you were flipping through it. It's only 2 pages, but page 2 gets a little bit intense. And so let's see how we do on it. We'll walk through it real quick. How are we doing on time? We got 10 minutes. Good. We're in good shape. That D7 kills me. That one. Right? It's very basic, but it shows up at the wrong time, Bob. You're just like, what? it just doesn't feel right, and it's because the song is changing in that moment, and it's like, and because Paul Simon knew his music theory too, right? And he's like, oh, I could have gone here, and then the song would have stayed the same, or I add one a note, and now I can change it into something about a surfer girl, silver girl. What does that mean? I always say surfer girl because I am not respectful of popular music. All right, here we go. Feeling groovy. Remember we talked about how weird this intro is. It's not really, I don't know, it's hard. It's once you get it, you got it, right? Da-dum, da-dum, da-dum. Okay, but it's not exactly how the notation reads particularly well. So I would work just that section. Bum, da-dum, 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 bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay, just a cute little intro. Slow down, you move too fast. Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay, take that part separate. All right, then we go down to the main idea. If you want to sing this song, it's really a lot of fun, right? So if you're a singer, slow down, you move too fast. You got to make the morning last. Just kicking down the cobblestones, looking for fun and feeling groovy. Okay. And it goes way too high for my voice. But the idea is those chords are just, I mean, it's 4 chords, guys, and they're all cool chords. G, E minor, D, and what's the other one? G, E minor, and D. Maybe it's only 3 chords. Is it only 3 chords? It's only 3 chords. Even better. They work really well on ukulele, right? G, E minor, and D. Those are going to work really well for you. And so it's a fun one just to kind of sing and play. You don't have to be a great singer to get this one out. It does go too high for my voice, but start low and hopefully you sing the lower octave. All right, now the melody. I don't want to play through the melody because it comes right out on the tough uke. If you're not playing tough uke, that's perfectly fine. Just grab the melody line and play along with me. Let's go through. We'll talk the tough uke through and then we'll play it. Okay. So we're going to start with the G chord, and first 3 notes 0, 2, 3. Let's go to measure 5. Sorry, we're on measure 5. If I'm confusing. Okay. And then you hit the 2. And then the D chord. Hit the 2. Change to the E minor. Open. Now you're holding the 2, so you got to open that up. And then back to the D. Okay, and then we're going to repeat that idea a whole lot. D chord. And then you're already holding down the 2. Back to the 8. I'm sorry, measure 8. Back to the E minor. And again, I held my index down and I was like, that's not right. Okay, hold that index finger up. 0, 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 0. Okay, bar on 2, pinky on 5. Okay, that's your melody note right there, right? Back to the same idea, G chord. E minor. G chord. E minor, no index. And you're going to jump up to 9 and then slide it back to 5. That's hard, okay? So make sure you know where your 9 is. You're going to for sure play it with your pinky, and then you're going to slide that pinky back to 5. So it's almost one motion. Okay? That'll be the hardest part of the song, probably. If you do it well, it'll sound awesome. Groovy. Okay, that's what it'll sound. Then you got measure 13 and 14 are just fill in notes. And you can try it both ways. You can try strumming and you can try plucking. One of the two is going to work well. Okay, let's go to 15. D chord. E regular E minor at 16. D chord. Okay, G chord again. 2, 3, 2, 3. D chord, 2. Open E chord. There's that bar on 2 again. Let's go back over to page 2. 2, 3. D chord. Partial E minor on 20. D chord. G chord. See, and that one's tough because the melody is 0 and then you've immediately got to add your 5 on. So you can't just stick a bar on there, it'll sound wrong. Okay, so do, do, do. Okay, and so just give that as much as you can and then leave your 5 on there while you add your E minor on. That's another kind of tough transition point. You hit that 5 and then you're going to be adding your E minor on behind it. Play the E minor with the 5, hit the 5 again, and then you're going to slide up to 9, and then that same exact thing back to 2 with the 5. So now you're going to go feeling groovy, right? So you're going to get this whole circuit there if you can get it right. It's hard to do, but it's easy to talk about, hard to do. Okay, measure 23, got a G chord, then a D chord, then an E minor, and then a D. Hit the 0, and then things change in this section, right? This is a different section, and always when things change, it usually gets harder. Okay, so measure 25, G chord, D chord, E minor, 2, okay, bar on 7, ring on 9, lose the ring, pinky on 10, or I would say in that tough you going, you probably really do want to put your pinky on 10. I just think it makes more sense. And then hit the 9 again with your ring. Lose the ring, pinky. Okay, so this business of the ring is going to play the 9s and the pinky is going to play the 10s. And if you can be really patient with yourself, it should work out okay. So let me show you again at 27 plus it's triplets, right? So you're supposed to be even faster. So let me show you just what I've got. I got a bar on 7, ring on 9. No ring, pinky on 10, ring back on 9, lose the ring, hit the 10 again. Okay, I should not have left my pinky up. Let me do it one more time just so hopefully you can see what I'm doing here. Okay. That's tough. Then I'm going to slide all the way down to the E minor with my 5 again. Open this up. And then D. Okay, so that's the toughest section of the song is that measure 27 going into 28. Okay, so let's go from 28. Put your E minor on with the 5. Go. D chord. Slide up for the 3. Measure 29, you got a G chord on. 3, 2. Bar on 5. Bar on 2 with pinky on 5. Lose the bar. And then we're going to do the same thing here. You got 7, 7, 9. So I put a bar on 7, ring on 9. Whoops! Don't hit the top. Don't hit the top note or you get the wrong chord. Let me go to 7, and then it'll sound much better. And then a D chord, G chord, E minor with open bottom. Go to bar on 9, F shape in front, 9, then 10 and 11. Groove. Back to G chord with your pinky, D, and then D chord. E minor, and then D. And we'll finish this out. G chord and D chord and E minor and D and G chord and D chord, E minor and big F chord or big D chord at the end. Okay, so the last little bit is going to be tough going. We'll see how we do. Okay, let's get going. All right. All right. One from the very top. Okay, one time through, we're going to play it crazy slow. Okay, feeling groovy, sad. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Major 7. Major 9. Major 11. Okay, major 13. 2 D chord, E minor, D chord. Major 15. This is major 17. Page 2. Major 21. Major 23, major 24, and then a D chord. Here we go, major 27. Or 32. 34. 35. 37. So you don't need to practice the song. You just got to practice 27 and 28, right? That's going to be, that's when I get there, I'm going to be like, oh my goodness, so much hard work for such a fun little song. Okay. We'll find that with music, right? Sometimes the song that should be easy is not easy at all. Sometimes, the songs that are super old tend to be a little easier than the songs that are newer. And so, yeah, nice. I think those are both really beautiful tunes. And if you're not enjoying the music we're playing today, you should go into some other field of endeavor, because we got nice tunes today, right? Yay, Renee, she's giving it a thumbs up. All right, guys, please know I wasn't downgrading STEM. I think it's super important, right? I just know if I was on the board and I had to make a choice, a lot of times that seems like an obvious choice, which is weird in our society. But anyway, I will see all of you guys tomorrow. We have another ongoing, Sound of Silence. I've almost got the thing done. I'm going to get it posted later on today. And I think I finally tallied up all your audience choice ones. So I'm going to knock that out tonight as well. So it'll be a surprise for you tomorrow as to what we're playing. And that's it. That's good. So hopefully you had a good day. Hopefully things are coming for you pretty well. And these are nice tunes, and you're nice people, and we're all going to just keep going forward. So if you're not getting emails, make sure your name is on the email widget thing on the website. And those websites, I'm trying to send out less email, but with more stuff in them. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Maybe I should send it more often with less stuff, but I don't know. In any event, I did get you an email earlier today, and obviously be in contact with me if you have questions or concerns, and I will see all of you tomorrow. Let's see. Renee, have a wonderful day. You are welcome. Sandy, good night. Take care. Laurel, hasta mañana. Laurel is very, very, very much of a Spanish speaker. All right, you guys. All right, I'm going to shut down the stream. You guys be good. I will see you, this time tomorrow. Okay, you're welcome, Pauline. Have a great day. End of stream.